Dad, I really want to come back home. I don't feel comfortable being in this unfamiliar place with strangers.
Huh? What's all this about? Mr. Barnes isn't a stranger. He's the one you're staying with. You're at his house, kiddo.
But I don't know him. Why did you send me to live with the regional manager from your office? You said it was for my own good. But is that really the truth? Everything happened so quickly. And he just came to get me without any notice the other day. I got the packages you had sent here. But it looks like you shipped absolutely everything of mine here. I don't think there's anything of mine left in your house. Why didn't you discuss any of this with me? And I had to change schools too. I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye to my friends.
Stephanie, I just wanted to make you happy. If you're living at Mr. Barnes's house, you'll get everything you need. And you'll get delicious food made for you every day. And next year, when you go to college, Mr. Barnes is going to pay for you to go to the college you've always wanted to go to. Money is no object for him. He makes good money as a regional manager, but that's just the tip of it. His whole family is rich. You saw how big their house is. He's even got a butler. Don't you think this is a great opportunity for you? You know I'm in a lot of debt here. You know I can't give you any of the things you want if you stay with me, right? I just want you to have the life you've always wanted.
But none of that matters to me, Dad. I never expected you to provide everything or pay for my college. I'm determined to earn a scholarship. And I've been saving every penny from my part-time job. I even plan on working while I attend college. I just want to be in charge of my own future, you know? I don't need everything handed to me. I'm ready to work for it.
Stephanie, come on now. I think you're overcomplicating things, don't you? Just sit back and relax. You have everything you need there at his house, right? So what do you have to complain about?
It's not even about all that. I don't like being at Mr. Barnes's house. I can't do this. And Mr. Barnes is always looking at me with a strange expression on his face. His eyes, when he looks at me, he's creeping me out. It's driving me crazy.
You're simply trying to find excuses. Don't badmouth our regional manager like that. He's my superior, and honestly, he's one of the kindest human beings I've ever come across.
It's not in my head. I'm telling you. He's really creepy. He scares me. You've got to believe me. Besides, I've got no friends at this new high school. I've got no one I can rely on here. Dad, please. I want to go home. What's gonna happen to me if I stay here?
Stephanie, just calm down. Listen, you're overreacting. Mr. Barnes wouldn't dream of touching you. Do you know how much older he is than you? He's got to be at least 40 years older than you. You've got nothing to worry about. You don't really think he's gonna try something with you, do you?
What? I think he will. That's the whole reason why I messaged you. Why are you acting like this? Dad, I love you. Why are you doing this to me? What are you thinking? Your own daughter is asking you to help her. And you won't even believe her when she says something's wrong. I can't believe this.
I'm sorry, Stephanie. I really want to assist you, but I'm just not in a position to do so. Plus, I've relocated. I apologize, but aside from staying at Mr. Barnes' house, there aren't any other options available for you.
What? Did something happen to our house?
Nothing happened to it. I just sold it.
What? You're kidding, right? That house is full of memories from when Mom was alive. You sold it without telling me? Why would you do that?
I apologize, sweetheart, but I had to sell the house to clear my debts. I was way behind on payments, and it was becoming overwhelming. I truly believe your mom would have understood the situation. I didn't want to burden you with the financial struggles, but it was a difficult decision I had to make.
But why didn't you talk to me about it first? I have so many memories in that house. It's the only place I've ever called home. And now it's gone? It feels like losing a part of myself. That house where I belonged, where I felt safe. I just don't understand why you made that decision without telling me.
Let's face it, this was bound to happen sooner or later.
Are you really saying that I can't go back and live with you anymore? All because you had debt?
I'm afraid so.
You're not lying to me, are you? You're not hiding something from me, are you?
I told you it was because I was in debt, didn't I? My new place is too small for two people. The only place you can live now is with Mr. Barnes. Look, there's only about 6 months left of high school anyway. You want to graduate high school, don't you? If you leave Mr. Barnes' house, you'll have to drop out of high school. Then you'll never get a job. Is that what you want? Just put up with it for 6 months. After that, you'll be heading to college anyway. You're just not used to Mr. Barnes' house yet. That's why you still feel a little uneasy about everything. Just tough it out for a little longer, and everything will be fine, I promise. If things still don't work out, I'll see what I can do, okay? I'm on your side, Stephanie. I'm not abandoning you.
Dad, I need you to promise me something. If things go wrong, please be there for me. I'm terrified of being alone. Please don't leave me in this fear, okay?
Sweetheart, you know I'll always be there for you. Just give me a call and I'll come running, no matter what. You can trust me. I've never lied to you before. Now, be a good girl and listen to my instructions. Stay safe and remember that I love you. Stephanie, where are you? Hey, answer your phone. I'm not joking around with you. This is a serious matter.
I'm not picking up. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Mr. Barnes just called me, frantic, saying you've run away. I can't believe this. What is wrong with you? Have you completely lost your mind? Explain yourself right now.
What do you mean, what's wrong with me? Do you have any idea how scary it was for me? He said he'd take me out to a restaurant for my birthday because you wouldn't come celebrate with me. And after the dinner, he asked if I was really 18 now. Then when we were leaving the restaurant, he grabbed my arm and started leading me down the street. Do you know where he was taking me? Did he not tell you that part of the story? Wait, I think you know, don't you?
He said he was taking you to a hotel. It was getting late and he's an elderly man. Perhaps he was simply tired and didn't want to drive all the way home. I'm sure he had good intentions, but it's important that you need to communicate with me before doing anything stupid. Now let's talk about it and make sure everyone is safe and well.
Dad, that's not the whole story. He deliberately picked that restaurant because it was close to a hotel. I can't handle this anymore. It's overwhelming. I can't even bear to think about what he had in mind. He's almost 60, and his actions are repulsive. I feel disgusted and betrayed. Please understand how much this has affected me.
Okay, I understand what you mean. I feel you. Tell me where you are right now, and I'll come pick you up.
What? I'm not telling you.
Wait, why won't you tell me? If you keep it a secret, how can I come and help you right away? Stephanie, please, your daddy is really worried about you. Please trust me and let me know what's going on. I want to be there for you and make sure you're safe.
Help me? Worried about me? I know you sold me to Mr. Barnes. Don't act like you care about me. He told me everything when he was dragging me to the hotel. He said he bought me and that I was his. And I know you told him that once I turned 18, he could do anything he wanted to me. You told him that, didn't you? He agreed to keep you from getting fired and to pay off your entire debt if you sold me to him. I know about it all.
Steph, come on. Seriously, think about what you're saying. It's like totally crazy, right? Dads would never ever even consider selling their own daughters. That's just outlandish and hilarious, to be honest.
Except that mine did. You knew my 18th birthday was today. That's why you sold me to him so close to it. You're not my father anymore. I don't care what happens to you. Actually, I know what's going to happen to you.
What's going to happen to me? What do you mean? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just get your butt back to Mr. Barnes' house right now. I don't want to hear any more about this, got it? Get back to his house right now. I mean it. Listen to your father when he tells you to do something.
I'm not going back to his house. And I'm never listening to anything you say ever again. I'm getting someone even more powerful than him or you to help me. It's all over for you.
What? Haha, you think there's someone more powerful than me or Mr. Barnes? That's a good one. Seriously though, what's going through your head? Look, you're my daughter, and of course I care about you. But let's get real here. I've been there for you for almost 18 years, doing my best to raise you. So it's only fair that you do what I ask, right? It's like a small favor to repay me for everything. Let's not make a big deal out of it. Just trust your old man and do as I say. It's for your own good, kiddo.
I didn't want to believe this. I didn't want to believe that you didn't love me. I loved you, Dad. How could you do this to me? Now I'm really glad I did what I did. You thought you had solved all your problems and got out of debt by doing this to me? But your problems are only just beginning. Goodbye.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? Hey, don't you dare mess with me, Stephanie. Hello, Mr. Evans. I noticed I got a text from you. It's really strange for the CEO of our company to be texting me like this.
Oh, Mr. Thompson. I see you haven't been arrested yet.
Arrested? What do you mean by that? I didn't do any... Oh, wait. I'm assuming this is about the incident. Do you think it would be possible for you to let me see my daughter again? I really need to see her. I believe there's some kind of misunderstanding going on here, and I want to clarify everything once and for all.
Mr. Thompson, what are you talking about? You don't have a daughter. Isn't that what you told me?
Hold on a sec, Mr. Evans. You're quite the joker, right? I'm talking about my daughter, Stephanie. I know she's hanging out with you, but let me set the record straight. Nothing she's been telling you is true. Seriously, she's got some wild ideas in her head. It all goes back to when her mom passed away when she was young. She took it pretty hard, and she hasn't been the same since. So, you can't hold me or Mr. Barnes responsible for any of this. Just wanted to make sure you got the real scoop.
You messed up at work really bad, and your productivity has reached an all-time low recently. Even still, I believed in you and kept you on at the recommendation of the regional manager. But I had no idea you were this type of person who tried to sell his own daughter just to get out of a debt. I'm not even going to ask what you did to get into so much debt.
Hold up. I would never, ever even think about selling my own daughter. That's just outrageous. I can't believe you'd even suggest such a thing. Look, I've been part of your company for a good while now, haven't I? By now, you should know the kind of person I am. I've always been the humble one, and I've earned the love and respect of everyone in the company. So, let's put these crazy accusations to rest, okay? Trust me, I'm not capable of anything like that.
Stop trying to talk your way out of this. You said that your daughter is delusional, and what she told me isn't true, right? My wife and I found her daughter at a hotel after she ran away from Mr. Barnes. She told us details she couldn't have known unless this really happened to her. And the fear and hurt in her eyes seemed very real to both me and my wife. Are we delusional too?
I'm sorry, Mr. Evans, but you know full well that's not what I'm trying to say. But as far as I know...
Stop this. You don't seem to fully understand what kind of trouble you're in right now, do you? To secure your own future and get out of debt, you sold your daughter to Mr. Barnes. You know the police have already arrested him, don't you? It makes me sick to know that I had two horrible people working at my company. One willing to sell his own daughter, and the other looking to buy another human being.
Mr. Evans, what's going to happen with me? Are they really going to find me and arrest me? I know you can't help me out. Isn't there something I can do to make it worth your while? Do you want me to apologize again for screwing up and losing that account 2 months ago? I'm really sorry. If you get me out of this, I'll owe you my life. Isn't there some way you can find it in your heart to help me out? I'll do whatever you want me to do. Getting a job at your company was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Pull yourself together. You should be thinking of your daughter instead of trying to save yourself, shouldn't you? You're supposed to be her father. What you did, and even the things you're saying and doing right now, are disgusting. You must be insane. Getting hired at my company was the best thing that ever happened to you? Are you saying that having a daughter and raising her to be a wonderful person means nothing to you?
Well, that's absolutely out of the question, and you know it. Listen, I need to hold on to this job because without it, I won't have the means to provide for my daughter, and she'll have to endure hardships all over again. This job is everything to me, you see? I promise, if you give me a chance to keep it, I'll step up and become a better father for her. I'll do whatever it takes to be there for her, to support her, and to create a brighter future. Please understand the importance of this job to me and the positive impact it will have on my daughter's life.
You ruined your own life, and to try to fix it, you wanted to ruin your daughter's. I despise people like you. There's no way I'll help you get away with this. I think most people in the world would agree with me, don't you?
So is that how you want to have it?
Pardon me?
I see you're acting tough, huh? You're telling me you don't care what happens to your company?
What are you trying to say?
With what happened here, your company is going to lose all the credibility and respect that it once had. Like you said, you had two horrible people working for you. You hired both of them. If this gets out, your company is going to be the most hated company around. So, if you won't help me, I'll make sure this gets out and everyone knows what kind of people you had working for you. Ha ha ha! It'll only be a matter of time before your whole company goes bankrupt. But if you help me get out of this, I can make sure none of that happens. All you need to do to stop that from happening is give me your word that you're going to get me out of this. We'll just say that Mr. Barnes did this all on his own, that he kidnapped my daughter. What do you say? Think about your company and think about your future. Helping me out of this doesn't seem like such a bad idea now, does it? I think it'd be beneficial for both of us. What do you say? Are you with me?
I see what you're saying. I'm a businessman myself. I understand what you're trying to do.
See? It's actually a pretty good idea when you think about it. So, do we have ourselves a deal? Trust me, it's a solid offer you don't want to miss out on. Let's make this happen and both come out winners.
No. I think I'd rather see you locked behind bars.
What? Are you out of your mind or what?
Take a look at the news on the internet. Wait, I'll send you a link. 18-year-old high school girl rescued by local business tycoon. Nice headline, huh?
Wait, what?
It's already out in the news. Well, on the local news anyway. The names haven't been released yet, but I don't think anything for my company or for my workers is going to change that much. Have you read the article? The reporters went crazy, praising me for rescuing that girl from those evil men. Read the article. It's great.
This can't be real. You fabricated this news article, right?
You wish. It doesn't seem like anyone is going to hate me for rescuing a young woman from two terrible men. I think any negative press for the culprits being employed in my company will be balanced out by me saving the day, don't you?
This can't be happening. No way! I don't believe any of this!
Even if it does end up impacting business, I'll just work harder and build the company back up. I've got more than enough money to rebuild this company 5 times over, and I've got more connections than you could imagine. I've got lots of options. But there's only one way this will end for you.
Mr. Evans, please, I'm begging you. Isn't there any way you can help me out of this?
I'm going to be submitting this chat history as evidence against you as well. I'm done talking to you.
Please, Mr. Evans, don't let this happen to me. I don't want to go to jail.
Now it's your turn to see how it feels. Imagine I'm selling you to the police.
After that incident, my dad and Mr. Barnes were located and apprehended. They've been sentenced to spend several years behind bars, which provides me with some solace. Still, the weight of what happened lingers, and I couldn't help but shed tears over it. I've expressed these thoughts to Mr. Evans, who came to my rescue, and they continue to haunt me. Why did I have to rely on a stranger for help? Why couldn't my own father be there for me? Perhaps he was too self-absorbed to care about anyone else's well-being. Or maybe he simply didn't realize how much he meant to me. Or worse, he didn't care at all. Fortunately, when I reached out to Mr. Evans that night, he and his wife promptly came to my aid, retrieving me from another hotel where I had sought refuge to escape Mr. Barnes. The Evanses kindly offered me a place to stay until the entire ordeal was resolved. Given my lack of parents or close relatives to rely on, I had nowhere else to turn. Mrs. Evans even extended the invitation for me to stay with them beyond the trial and its aftermath. It hadn't occurred to me before, but ever since that first night, I felt an immense sense of comfort and safety in their presence. So, I accepted their generous offer. It had been a few years since that dreadful incident. I've completed my college education and now work at one of Mr. Evans's branch offices, located far away from my hometown. Even if my dad and Mr. Barnes are released from jail someday, I doubt I'll have to concern myself with them anymore. I'm fully dedicated to my job, driven by a sense of gratitude towards Mr. Evans and his unwavering support. Occasionally, thoughts of the past incident resurface, particularly the nights when I reached out to my dad for help and he callously turned me away, leaving me feeling utterly isolated. However, my life has taken a remarkable turn for the better, and I find genuine happiness in my present circumstances. I've forged numerous friendships in the city I now call home, and I genuinely relish going to work each day. At times, it feels like the traumatic events of the past were merely a bad dream. I strive to keep those memories at bay and focus on the opportunities before me. With a fulfilling career, I have even found love and am now in a relationship with a wonderful person. Who knows? We might even start our own family in the near future.